Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Kareem from Elite Department, your YIC representative for Blackboard. Last week I conducted workshop number 1 during the first week of the semester, but due to some reasons some of our colleagues could not attend the live webinar, and some colleagues though who attended also requested for the recording session of the workshop number 1. Unfortunately, then I did not record the session, so this video I am just going to demonstrate the workshop number 1 activities. So the main agenda of the workshop number 1 was how to create the menu items using the content area and tool link area, and how to upload the data through the menu items in the Blackboard system. So this is one part, and the second part was how to conduct the virtual classes, any online classes in the Blackboard system. So in this we have subtopics like how to create the session, how to join the session, and how to see the reports and how to see the recordings. So this was the agenda, and I clearly demonstrated all these items one by one. So I'm going to repeat again here the activities, and let's but only thing is you need to practice this. If you don't practice this, then it is difficult. So let me start with my course. First I will log in into my Blackboard account. Yes, this is my home page. In the home page, what you will see here is this is our college link, Jammu Industrial College link. This is my name, and this is okay. So we don't have to worry about all those things now. We have so many announcements, tools, and browser check, and the link for the apps. But what is important for us is how to create the menu items and how to conduct the classes, because in the week number 1 and week number 2 and week number 3, so this is what we are going to start with. So now we are in the My Institution tab. In the My Institution tab, this is the home page. So we have 4 tabs here: courses, community, and services. Our main concentration should be on the courses. So let's start with course. Click the course. When you go to the courses, now I am on the real production environment, because we already have the courses. When I gave the demonstration, it was only the test environment. Now this is the real environment. So we have the courses here. Make sure that you have all your courses here. If some of the courses are missing, you need to report it immediately. So this is my course, lab 1, lab 2. This is another lab, another course, and another theory. Okay, so what you need to do here is you have to create a menu. So first you have to select the course for which you need to create the menu. Normally the theory classes. Let's select this EAT 223. This is the old course. Okay, now what you see here is you are inside the course now, microprocessor, and this is lecture number 1. Section number 1, lecture section number 1. Okay, so this is what is a menu, how the menu should look like. For example, if you go to the Moodle, so this is your menu. So this is the home, this is my courses, EAT. If you click 233, so you will be taken to your course page, right? Exactly the same way you need to design the course. This is the course menu items. See, this is RCYCA menu. So this is the menu and these are the menu items. Exactly, you need to create it here for your courses. Right now your menus and your course has no menu items. Your course has no menu items. Okay, what are the menu items should be normally? So here we have a standard, some standards are there. The menu items is depends on your department or your course itself, or it may be decided by the college, or it may be decided by the e-learning agency, whatever it could be. Let's assume that now you want to design the menu. So this is a sample standard course menu. Okay, this is the menu item name and then what type of menu item, how to create this menu. Let's assume that this is the heading, general information. Under general information, I will start with, this is the first item, announcements, know your faculty, faculty schedule. So these three items should come under this heading. Okay, let's start with designing the general information heading. Okay, how to do that? First thing is you need to press, so in this window you will see a plus sign here. Click the plus sign. Once you click the plus sign, come to the down, you will see subheader. You will see here subheader. Click the subheader, and then what should be the name of the subheader? This should be the name of your subheader. So just simply I will copy it from here. I will paste it here. Control C and Control V. So this is the name of the subheader. Click it. Yes, the name has come. Next, what is the item that I want to create here? See, this is what so this just information for you from where you have to, how you have to create plus and subheader you have to press. Then announcements. How to create the announcement? It is from the plus and tool link. Control C, go to the plus, say tool link. So we are working here, we have so many options here. Please concentrate on only two things: content area, tool link, subheader, divider. These are the only four items you need to concentrate. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the next menu item I'm going to create here is from the tool link. This is the tool link. I want to create from the tool link. Plus tool link, Control V, announcements. Okay, announcement is a tool link. Select it from here. When you say here, so when you click the down arrow, you will get the drop down menu. From this drop down menu, you need to select announcements. Okay, and always make sure that it is available to the students. Check the box and submit. So this is my first menu item. Okay, next let's go to the next menu item. This is know your faculty. Know your faculty. Again, go to the plus. This time you are not creating from tool, you are creating from the content area. I will tell you what is the difference between the you will see the difference now. When you say content area, you will get only one input box. That's all. So just select it and submit. See the difference. When I created here, I got two things. One is the box for the name, other one is to select the type of the link. So this is the link, easier is announcements. Okay, now let's go to the next menu item, faculty schedule. Control C, plus content area, Control V, make it available. Yes. Now what I need next I need here is this line, like a divider. I want to make it like a group. This one is as one group. All these three items must be in one group. So just to make it good looking, you need a divider. How to get the divider? It is very simple. Go to the plus and go to the divider. Yes, the divider is already here. So because I need here two dividers, one on the top here, so one on the top here before this, look at this, yeah, here, this one here, and I need one divider here. So just again go to the plus and say here divider. So you will get two dividers. Always the items which you keep creating, it will come down. You can pull these items up. You can pull these items up. How? Bring the cursor to the left corner. When it is here on the yellow mark, this arrow will become 4-direction arrow. That means you can pull this in any direction. So pull this up from here to this. Sorry. Yeah, you can see. Now this is the divider, this is the subheader, this is announcement is a item, know your faculty is a item, and your faculty schedule. Like this, whatever you want to have, you can have the menu items. So I created the two things here. I created these items from two things, very important things. One is content area and another one is tool link. Whenever you say content area, what will happen? Whenever you choose the tool link, what will happen? Let's say for example plus. When I say content area, it will ask me only one name. What is the name? And make it available. But when you do the same thing using the tool link, sorry, okay, let me move this. Okay, now go to the plus. So I wanted to show the difference between the content area and tool link. Right now we are using only these two, content area and tool link. Rest of the things you have to explore by yourself. So I will tell you what is content area. Means it is just you will give only the name and make it user available. If you go to the tool link, you will see here two things. One is you have to give the name and then you have to select the tool. These are the built-in tools in the Blackboard. You must tool one of this one. For example, I want to make the announcements. So already there is a built-in tool here called announcement. So you can put all your announcements for the students to see from this built-in tool. So you will choose two things. You can give any name here. For example, announcement or anything like this. Same name or anything you can give. Then you can make it available. That is the difference between the content area and the tool link. So the tool link means you will select the built-in functions. Content area means this is your own function, something like that. Okay, so these are then subheader. This is none. There is no link for this. See here, there is a. You will have a hyperlink here. You will have a hyperlink here. You will have a hyperlink here. But there won't be any hyperlink here. It is just a heading. And same thing for the divider. Like this, if you want to divide, if you want to create the whole menu items according to your requirements, you can create. For example, this is general information. I created 3. Then course information. I created like course weekly plan, course material, references. All these things are created using the content area. Now let me create the next subheader, course information. How to do that? Plus subheader, just copy the name, finish it. So it is already here. Next, course weekly plan. So this is the first item under this heading, course weekly plan. Plus content area, just give this course weekly plan because it is uploaded by you. It is not a built-in thing. Submit. So it is here again. Similarly, you will go to the course material because you are uploading the course material. Course material will not come from the Blackboard. Then make it available. Always make it available to the students, all the items. So now I created like this. I will create another menu item, last references, and plus I will say content area, references, and then survey. See, this is my menu item. Let me put one divider for this, the end. Yeah, so this is one block, this is another block. Like this you can plan it whatever the items you want, according to your requirement, according to your course, according to your department, according to your college. So there is nobody will ask. So the e-learning agency will never ask you why your course menu is like this. Okay, so designing of the course menu is done. Next step is you need to upload the data into these links. So I'm just telling you in very simple terminology, uploading the data. Okay, let's say for example, first let us start with this faculty schedule. I want to upload faculty schedule. If you want to upload faculty schedule, select the faculty schedule, click. Then when you click it here, now you are here in the faculty schedule. But in the faculty schedule, now you have to put whatever you want to put it here. So this area is now empty. If you want to put something, you can put it here. I want to put my schedule. So how to put my schedule? I have already the schedule in my PDF file. I want to put my PDF file here for the students to see. Okay, how to do that? Step number 1, build content. Choose the build content and then say here item or file. You can choose either of this, item or file. Let me start with item. Okay, when it starts with the item, so now you are creating an item. Yani you are creating something for the faculty schedule. Name, give some name for the item. Let's say schedule or anything. Okay, if you want to write some description, for this menu item, you can write this is my schedule. Okay, then I need to upload my schedule which is already in my hard disk on my computer. So browse the computer. Okay, go to your wherever your file is there. So my schedule here is here. I will just select the PDF file. This is my schedule. This I will just show you. Open it. Yes, it is already attached here. You can see the file is attached. So if you want, you can attach more than one file here. As many file as you want, you can attach it here. After attaching, make sure one important thing here, that permit user to view this content. This is very important. Permit the user to view, yes. And rest of the things, don't worry, just say submit. So your schedule is uploaded under the faculty schedule item in the menu item. If some student or you, if you click it, you will see this. So the students will also see the same thing. How do you know that what the students will see? Always you can check it here by yourself. There is a button here called enter student preview. When you click here the enter student preview, you will see this is how the student will see the screen. This is how the students will see the screen and in the opening. So the students will click it here and then he can see your PDF file, your schedule. Okay, so this is my schedule PDF file. I think I closed it. Anyway, so this is my schedule. I will just show you where is my schedule. Okay, if you click it here directly, you can see that yes, this is my schedule. I clicked it here. It will take, yes, this is my schedule. So student will also see the same thing. Okay, now let's finish the, let's come, okay, exit the preview of the student, say continue. Now you are back into instructor mode. Okay, now we are in the faculty schedule. The next step is announcements. I want to put some announcement for the students. So you can put the announcement. Let's put a small announcement. Click the announcement. Then you say here create announcements. Give some name for the announcement. Next online class, for example. Next online class. You can write the description here. So the next online class will be on like this date, this time, something like that. Or okay, you can write the message, bring your laptops, okay, use your laptops, don't use the mobiles, etc, etc. Okay, nothing to do here, just say here submit. Let's see, this is the message, the announcement I created for the students. See, just now I created the, like this you can create as many announcements as you want here, so the students will see here. Okay, next is know your faculty. I want to put know your faculty, some data I want to put it here. I want to introduce myself, like I am you can put your CV, or you can put your complete CV, or you can put whatever you want. Again, I want to attach a file, or you can write it directly. So again I will go to the build content. First choose know your faculty. From here know your faculty, then build content item. Then you can write something here, my personal introduction, something like that. Then if you want to write your complete personal information here, you can type it, or if you have something already written, you can just cut and paste here. Or if you want to attach a file of your complete CV or yourself or anything, you can browse the computer and then you can attach whatever the file you want. Okay, I have a file called know your faculty, so I will upload it. Now you can see here know your faculty file is uploaded. Okay, if you want to, and also very important thing, make this available to the user, to the student. Then last step, submit. Yeah, so this is how you are going to enter the data, upload the data for the links that you created. If you want to delete, if you want to make changes, anything, if you want to rename the item, if you want to change it, if you want to move up and down, arrangements, it is all up to you how you will arrange it and how you will keep it. Okay, one important thing is when the students log in, because you have so many items here, what is the entry point? When the student first log in, which page and which menu item you want him to see, that you have to decide. That is called entry point. How do you, for example, okay, always I want my student to see the announcements as soon as they log in. I want them to go to this place. As soon as they log in, I want them to see this. I don't want him to go to the faculty schedule, know your schedule, or anything, any item. I want him to go first to the announcement. How I can set that? So to set that one, we have here some tools called, if you come down here, you see here course management tools. So under this control panel, you have something called here customization. Select the customization. If you select the customization, you will see here so many items. Okay, so from here you have to choose teaching style. Here in the teaching style, come down here. Yes, this is the place. Select the course entry point. The first page the student you want the student to see, which page? Entry point. So all the menu items that you created here will appear here. But you see here, it is a you can see only here 3: faculty schedule, announcements, know your faculty. What about other? Because you created weekly plan, you created material, you created references. Why they are not appearing here? Because you don't have any data inside this, because you uploaded the data only for this and this. You did not upload any data here. Once you upload the data here, you can see those menu items also here. Okay, we don't need that one now. Okay, I want the student to go to the announcement as soon as they log in. So the entry point must be announcements and say here submit. That's it. See, this is when the student log in, the first thing he will see here is the announcements. He will see all the announcements here. That's it. So this is the first part. So same way, what you can do here is course material. I want to upload the data for the course material. Let's say, for example, weekly plan. We have the weekly plan for all our courses. Any week 1 is what, week 2 is what, that weekly plan as an attachment you can upload here. Go to the weekly plan, select the build content, select the item, give some name here. See, all these fields are compulsory fields. Where there is a star, marked star, all these fields are compulsory fields. Give some description for the course plan. If it is already in the Excel form, in the Word or Excel or PDF, whatever the format it is, even in the picture format, any format, just browse your computer, attach it and say submit. So it is uploaded in this link. Course material. For example, course material. Let's go to the course material. Now in this course material, we have so many. Let's say, for example, you have slides, you have information sheets, you have some extra handouts or something like this. You want to make divisions and you want to make the folders inside this. You want to make it organized. You can upload everything here, no problem, as a file or as an item. But if you want to make, you can make the folder also. Inside this you can make a folder, for example, content folder. So you can give some name here, like for example, this folder is for slides. So you can put all the slides here. You can give some description here if you want. Then this is just a folder. You are creating it and make it available to the user. Yes, this is just a folder. So inside this folder, you can, if you click that, again you will get, now inside the slides you can put your items. You can put all your slides. For example, lecture 1 slides, lecture 2 slides, lecture 3 slides. So all your slides will be in one place, that is this folder, in the slides folder. Okay, let's go back to the course material again. Now I want to create another folder. How to create the folder? Again, build content folder. Now I want to say information sheets. You give a description. All these things are optional. Then submit. Now you created another folder. We have 2 folders under the course material. See, under the course material we have 2 folders. One folder for the slides, one folder for the information sheet. If you want to put some information in the information sheet, click this and then you will be back. You will get the same type of menu items. Again, you can have folder inside a folder, inside, like this. All the options are available here. All the options, whatever is available in the beginning, the same options are available for the folder as well. So you can upload the files, say item, and upload the file in the folder. So you created here in the course material, you created 2 folders. Like this, your data will be organized. Your data will be totally organized. And then references. If you want to give some references for the book, you can give it something. See, now there is no box. See, if you see a box something like this, this rectangular box, this square box, that means there is no data inside this link. There is no data inside this link. That's you can view it even. So the students cannot see this link. The students cannot see this link, cannot see this link. If there is no data, the student cannot see the link. Let's go to the preview of the student and see how it looks like. See, you have faculty, this faculty schedule, announcement, and know your faculty and course material. So the other references, all those, other two which we created, it is not available. And look at the entry page. This is the entry page, because there are so many things are here, but I want always my student to go to the announcements as soon as he log in. See, this is the entry page of the student. That's it. So this is the first part. So what are the first parts that we created? How to create the menu items using two things, content area and tool link. And then how to upload the data through the Blackboard menu. So this is the first part of this workshop. Let's go to the second part. So the second part is conducting the online classes. How to conduct the online classes? To conduct the online classes, the Blackboard has a beautiful feature called Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. So how do I get this Blackboard Collaborate Ultra? This is a tool. This is a tool link. So first I need to create the tool link for my Blackboard Ultra. I have to create the link like this one. I want to create a menu item. Let's say for example, I want to have like this, virtual classes. Under virtual classes, I have online class, I have student grade or something. So let's see the student grade later, not now. So online classes. So first let us create the header, virtual classes. This is the header, plus header virtual classes. See, only one name, only just simple, submit. So your virtual classes came. Under this, what I want to do now, I want to create a menu item called online class. How to create from the tool link, go to the plus and go to the tool link. If you go to the tool link, as I told you, we have two things. First, you have to give some optional name, compulsory name, any name as you want. Second thing, what is the tool we are using to conduct the online class? The tool which we are using here is called Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. You have to choose this Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Then make it available to the user and submit. Yes, your Blackboard Ultra to this link, this menu item is created. So this is the place from where you are going to schedule your online session. Okay, so we are doing here, first thing is how to conduct the virtual class. To create the virtual class, first you have to create the link from here, from plus, then tool link, then you will get the menu item. Once you get the menu item, you can schedule your classes, all your online classes. For this section, you can create it from here. How to create the online class? Now click this online class. Yes. Now it says here there is no session created. You don't have any session to create. Okay. Step number 1, create session. Click the create session. Okay. Give the name for the session. For example, this class is any name, Elite 233 LC01, just to make it easy to view later. Okay, this is a must. After that, you need to set the time of the class, which date, what time, start date and time, starting date. For example, Tuesday from 10:15 a.m. from 10:15 a.m. to Tuesday, okay, up to 11:15 a.m. So this is the date, this is the starting time, this is the ending date at the ending time. Then make sure this is optional, but you can keep it 15 minutes before you can join the class, and the students can also join the class. This is one part. Here you will see another tab called setting. Click this, you will go to the setting. Okay, don't make any changes here. This is only optional. If you want to record your online session, your online class, if you want to record it and download it, you can check this box. This is completely optional, up to you. Okay, then just say here create, then save. It is automatically saved. You can see here when you close it and see here, this is my name, this is the title I gave for the session. This is the date, at what time. This is on 8th. Today is 7th. This is tomorrow 8th at 10:15 a.m. but this is not yet started. Yes, this is the time, not yet started. Let us schedule something which will start now, so that I can show you how to join the session. Okay, again, if you want to make changes to the same, you can go to the edit setting, and then now let me make this time now. Okay, this is now. What is the time now? 11:01 to 11 p.m. 11:01 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. Why this is 01? Okay, so now it is 11:02, so I started with 11:01 until 11:15 p.m. Now make the changes, whatever the changes you have made, just save it and close this button. So now you can see here, this session is in progress, this session is already in progress. So how to join it? Very simple. There is a session button here, or you can click directly here. You will get this message here, join the session, join session. Just simply click it. Now you are inside. You started the session for the students. You joined the session. So this speed depends upon your internet and your browser and your laptop machine itself. Okay, make sure that your audio will be unmute, camera if you wish to, or if you don't want, you can cancel it. Okay, now if you want to record the session, how do you record the session? Step number 1, here go to the menu option, session menu, start recording. There is a button called start recording. Okay, so you will get the message start. So this message will be sent to all the students as well as to you. This is a pop-up message, just indicating that your session is being recorded. Okay, next, how to see your students and how to start sharing your files or your screen. For that, you need to open the control panel here. Okay, here you will see four tabs. This one, the first tab here is for the chatting purpose. The second tab, it will show you the students, the list of students who joined your session, who joined your session. Like now here I don't have anybody, this is myself. And the third one is, this is sharing the contents, how to share your screen. Okay, so there are so many options here. Number one option is share the blank whiteboard. Let us try this one and see what happens. Share the blank whiteboard. When you share the blank whiteboard, this is how the students, so this is what the student will see and you will see. If you want to write something, this is like a board. Just select the pen. If you want to change the color of this, start writing it. If you have the tab, if you have a pen, or if you have a graphics tablet, you can write whatever you want here. And then erase it. If you want to close the this whiteboard, just simply stop. Now you are not sharing the blank whiteboard. Okay, next let's see. I want to share my whole complete screen. This full screen I want to share, my desktop whole. You can go to the share application screen. This is the best option, share applications screen. Then select your entire screen. Yes, click on this image, it will be selected. Always I suggest share audio, then simply share. Now your complete screen, see, your complete screen is shared with your students. Those who are in the session, everybody can see. Okay, if I open my Moodle, the students will also see. Whatever I see on the screen, everything the students will see. So that is why this is the best option. If you want to show, for example, I want to share with them this PDF file. I want to write something on this one. Okay, I want to show this. I want to play a video. Everything I can play here. Whatever I see on my screen, that will be shown to the students. So that is this option is the best option always. Okay, so if you want to stop sharing, just simply stop sharing this one. Okay, so these are the two important, this tab is the most used tab here. Chatting with your students and see the number, the participants who are the attendees in your session, and sharing of the screens, sharing the file, sharing the blackboard, and sharing the whole. So we have something called share file, but this share file will take a lot of time to upload the files, to share the files. I don't recommend this. So always share application or share your full screen. Okay, so if you're done with your class, you can just close the stop recording, and then if you want to finish the session, you can just log out, go to the again this one, then here see leave session. Then if you want to give some comment, you can give comment. So you have left the session and you can close the browser now. So this is how you will enter into the session. Now this session is still in progress. This session is still in progress. So when the time finishes, it says it is finished. Okay, so this is how the student will also see the same screen like what you are seeing here. He will also use the same procedure. Students will first see here, he will go to the online class, and then he will see this one, it says in progress, and he will click it and he will join the session. Same way how you entered the class, how you joined the session, in the same way the students will also enter. He must enter in that way. Don't send the links and other things, no shortcuts. Always let the student log in into the Blackboard. Let them see the menu items, what these menu items are, what these announcements are. Because you put so many announcements, so the students will not see this if you send the link for this class. Some of the teachers are sending the link for this class because some technical issues, but the students are not. This is not a good practice. Always ask the student to use his credentials and enter into the Blackboard, and then when he enter, he can see all those things. Okay, he will click the online class. Same way how you see this he will also see this and he will also join your class. So this is about the Blackboard Ultra. Now you will get some reports, like you can get the reports of this one, like how many students attended, when he when he logged in, how long he was in the class, and the recording of your session. All the information you can get it. Okay, so how do you get that one? Because now this is still in progress, I will do one thing. I will use one of my colleagues account. He already conducted the class last week and he recorded, and I will show his class attendance, everything. So let me log out from this my account, or I can use another browser. So I suggest everyone, please use the known browsers like Chrome or Safari or Microsoft Edge. This is the updated version of Microsoft Edge. Please don't use any third party software, browsers. You may end up with problems. So let me log in into my colleagues account. I have taken his permission. Okay, login. Okay, this is our friend Girish from electrical department, and let me go to his course directly without wasting time. I will go to his theory class. Okay, and I will go to his online class that he conducted, online class, and then I will see so many sessions here, because I don't see any session. Why? The sessions which are finished, you will not be appearing here. If you want to see all the sessions, previous sessions, you have to click this and say previous session. So he conducted a class on 2nd of September. This class 2nd of September, this is Elite 225 LC01. Okay, he conducted the class. This is the theory class he conducted. Let us see the attendance of this class and see the recording of this class. How to see that? You go to the menu here, session options, click it, and then you can see here reports. Go to the reports. You will see 3 options: editing, view, delete. Go to the view reports. Yes, this is the report. When he started, when did he start? 3 p.m. he started, and how many attendees were there, what is the end time, attendees, duration of the class, and then how many attendees are there, their attendance. I said 14. Who are those 14? I want to see all. So just say view report. So these are the 14. These are the 14 attendees, but it is coming in 2 page, but it is not in the printable format. If you want to if you want to download the details in the Excel format, you can download it here. Export to CVS. If you say export to CVS, you will get it is downloaded. You open it. Yes, this is the file. So this is the file. So if you want to see here, you can see all the details. You can see all the details of this class. Like, this is the username, this is the user, what is his role, attendance type, first join, last join, total. Let's say for example, this is teacher, moderator. This is your teacher. Okay, and rest all participants. Rest are all participants. All these are students. I have the name, ID, everything. So when did he log in first? What time he logged in? The date and the time. See what time he logged in. And very important thing here is how much time he spent in the class. For example, this student 59 minutes. 57 minutes. 59, 51. So one student, he was there only for 16 seconds. He was there only for 16 seconds. So that means he is absent for the class. And how many sessions, how many times he logged in and logged out? How many times? This student, he logged in and logged out for 5 times. For 5 times he logged in and logged out. Maybe this is due to the technical reason, or maybe he was taking a break in between for every 10 minutes. We don't know. So from this report you will know exactly, I mean everything you will know, when he logged in, how much time he spent, everything you will know. So this is what the attendance, this will be very helpful for your recording your attendance. It's attendance for your session. Okay, next I want to see the recording of this session, any how the recording was there, any when he conducted the class, recording was there. Where is the recording? You will go to the menu here. So you will go to the top menu here and you will go to the recordings. In this recordings, select the date on which I want to see the date, and this date and this time. Okay, go here and then click this recording option. There are two options here. One is you can directly see online, or you can download the file. Let me see here, download the file. Download the file, it will take time. You can do it after the session, but if you want to see online, it will open in a new window and it will show you the recording of the class. Okay, so let us not this is recording of the class. Let me fast forward this. This is our colleague, he is taking the class.
Connect the circuit and put a lamp, and when you switch on, what will happen? Electrical energy gets converted into light energy and you can see the light.
Okay, so this is how, if you want to download it, you can clearly download the file. So I also downloaded the file just to show you here. This is the complete file I downloaded.
It is important, you have to take it.
Okay, so that's it. So this is about how to conduct your classes, how to conduct your online class. Let me see how to conduct it. First you have to create the link, then after that, this creating the link is only one time. You don't have to create the link every time. Only you have to create the sessions. For every session you need to create better. Also you have the option to create for all the weeks, I mean for all the sessions, but I suggest create one by one as and when you have the class. Now how to create the session, we did it. How to join the session, we did it. How to view the reports, we did. How to see the recording. So this was the basic workshop number 1 that we conducted. Okay, let me log out from my friend's account and let me go back to my account. Okay, this is my courses. Okay, I have designed my menu item here in the course. Which course I designed? For this course I designed, this was my menu item, general information, faculty. So that's it. So this is how you will create the menu items and you will conduct the online classes. So I just kindly request everybody, please, in the first class, explain the students that how he should enter into the classroom, a virtual classroom. Spend some 5 minutes of time and then show him that, okay, this is the menu, I have here this, I have this thing, the announcements, I have this here, I have this course material here, and how to enter the online class. Many students doesn't know how to enter the class. So when the time of the class is there, just they will simply click the virtual class link and then they will join the session. Then simply they will join the session. That's it. So this is how you will conduct your so you can keep uploading the data for. So let me just summarize this, what I did here. First I started with the creating of the menus. How to create the menus? By 2 methods. One is using the content area, the next one is the tool area. What is content area? This you have to upload the data from your side. Tool area means that you are using the built-in things. So normally we can use it for everything, but for now we used one for announcement. The second one is for the Blackboard. We used only these two tool links, built-in tool links. And also we are going to use the My Grades tool link. We are going to use it. So I will show you about this in the workshop number 2. I think I already shared the workshop number 2. how to create the my grade and other things. So that's it from me here. If you have any questions, please, you need to practice it. If you have any question anytime, feel free to contact me either through my email rahmatullayam@rcyca address, or this is my office number, this is my Cisco number, and this is my mobile number. Okay, thank you very much.